What's good, gang? It's your girl Margarita coming to you live with a whole nother video. And this video isn't specifically requested. It's been a whole bunch of people DMing me about my experience at Davidson, asking a whole bunch of like specific questions. So I decided I was gonna go ahead and just make a whole video so that people can like watch it, and then if they have further questions that I didn't answer, then they can ask me. Because if this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe buttons wherever they are, and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss anything. I have things planned. If this is your second, third, or millionth time coming to my channel, welcome back, because y'all know I love it when you come see me. And for everybody, regardless of whether this is your first, second, third, 67th time coming, remember that I post every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6 or around 6, as close to 6 as possible. So yeah, you know what's coming. Or if you don't, because you just got introduced to my channel, you're about to find out. So we're gonna pause here and we're gonna do this thing called intro.
We can make it happen. I think that we can make it happen. We can keep it on the low. Promise nobody else will ever have to know.
So I'm gonna start off telling you like some basic things, like the fact that it's a liberal arts school and it's a private college. Part of our liberal artsness is that like many other liberal arts schools, we don't have specific tracks or like concentrations the way that they exist in other schools. So, like, I've always been fond of the fact that if there's something at Davidson that you want to experience that you haven't, they'll find that experience for you. So whether that's a class that you could take somewhere else, or if it's just a whatever, look into finding that for yourself, and they 9 times out of 10 will help you make something work with the program. Because I don't know, Davidson's just real like, if you can find it or you want it, we can make it happen, let's do it type thing. Which gets me to the next point about funding, which is one of the pros that I'm going to mention. If there is a project or an idea that you have that you're just like, I want to do this, but I don't necessarily know how I'm going to pay for it, pursue it through Davidson and like ask around and see what you can find out about like funding, because they fund a whole lot of projects, and they be having funding for like real specific stuff and also real broad stuff. So like the money is there, you just gotta look for it. And in terms of like classes and things, Davidson's classes are usually no more than 15 people, because it's only what 2,000 people, 2,000 students on campus, but like usually it's between 15 to 30, and either way that's still small. If you are a student of color like I was, to be honest, I've had my bouts with imposter syndrome on campus. Davidson has a real air of like entitlement a lot of times, just because it is a school for richer students. So being from a different type of background, I often felt out of place in certain settings. And entitlement, like, I don't think people are intentionally like rude and entitled, but sometimes it comes off that way. They're all very nice people, like the administration, the students, the professors. Most of the time, you gonna have your bad apple just like every other school, but like for the most part, I think campus and the students, everybody's like super nice. Right here, I also did a video on that, like about my specific like as a black student experience at Davidson. So I'm gonna put that card on whatever side of the screen it goes on, and you can check that out. One thing I specifically appreciated about Davidson was that their administration is really on the ball about stuff. So like if I had a question about my financial aid packet, or I needed to go get something changed for classes, it was happening like this. It wasn't like a week later I ain't heard back from nobody, or I'm standing in a financial aid line for 3 hours, 3 days, 3 years type thing. Anything I needed handled, I could either go to the office, send an email, call, whatever, and it was handled like right then and there. So I really appreciate that, because that wasn't my experience when I did study abroad programs elsewhere. Like our administration is really on it in terms of like school, like paperwork and things like that. Now when we start talking about like somebody did something type thing and we waiting for an administration response, they're kind of slow with that. We expect them to be on the ball like that, but like at the same time, I can't say that I expected that from them for some reason. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing though. One thing in terms of like social life and the size of Davidson is that rumors and like bad situations, they don't really go away, but they go like around campus really quickly. So say something happens to you, the campus gonna know about it by like 12 p.m. that same day if it happened at 10. So it's just, I don't know, things travel really quickly. Moving on, I'm gonna talk about things to do on campus, because people ask me this a lot about like because Davidson is like a real, this is Davidson, and then there's like trees and such, and then there's like normal, but Charlotte is over there. So if you want to get to Charlotte, you gotta be able to drive or something. Like, and Uber can be expensive, and Ubers aren't necessarily the safest option, and all the other stuff. So like, what do you be doing at Davidson? It's something I get asked a lot. Like, what do you do with your time? And I'm gonna tell you. Here we go. So around Davidson, my favorite things to do were go to the farmers market and go to the movie theaters and whatever like events that were happening on campus. So for one thing, I think there's something happening every weekend, or every weekend, every other weekend type thing. Union Board has a lot of free events. Okay, Union Board is a group on campus. They just like schedule and host a lot of like free events on campus. I primarily went to those events. Beyond that, I went to the movie theaters quite a bit. I'm not even gonna hold you, like, especially my senior year, I went there quite a bit because you go there during matinee and the tickets aren't that expensive. And they got great snacks. I always go in there and I get funnel cakes and mozzarella sticks. That's a weird combination, but I be eating this though. And the escape room is on Main Street. There's also, did I mention the farmers market? I love the farmers market. It happens every other week. And then like take some time. They don't even take time off in winter because I went. And my favorite place is if you're like, oh, I want to go there and eat something. There's a lady that comes in. She makes lemon honey donuts. They're $4. They're delicious. I love them. They're amazing. And Blue Barn Bistro is a like food truck thing. They come through there. Their macaroni is immaculate, and I love their burgers. Wildcat excursions. They have those sometimes. You have to sign up like really quickly. They'll take you to like Carowinds, or like if a celebrity's coming to town, they'll buy tickets and you guys can go to that. When Stephen Curry, the Golden State Warriors come locally, like to Charlotte, and they play, they get y'all tickets, y'all can go. Stuff like that. It's events happen all the time that you can sign up for, attend. There's a lot of festivals that occur. So like they have Davidson on the green, on the grass, whatever it's called, events. So there's like this big field. So like this is Davidson College, and then across the street there's this big field by the library where they just have events. My favorite one is Christmas in Davidson. I did a video about that, so be sure to check that out if you're curious about that. I only went for the funnel cakes and the pizza. Honestly, for me personally, it was too dense of a crowd. I can't stand that. But I love funnel cakes and it was worth it. So, I personally don't know if what I'm about to tell you is like a hidden gem type thing. But personally, I didn't know about these things until like junior-ish year. So I'm going to call them hidden gems on campus. Well, the Nest is relatively new, but it's on the top level of the library. There's a room in the back right corner, I think. The Nest. And it's just, I just love the room. I did a video about that too. I did a lot of Davidson videos, so check them all out. Okay, I'll put them in the description box. You can just click around and figure out what you need to know. There's also, behind the wall science building, there's this like fountain, and there's a lot of chairs. I loved sitting back there. Adored sitting back there. I don't know if that's a hidden gem or not. I didn't know it was back there, and I walk back there all the time. Now moving on to other more like, all of it serious, but like more next level serious. Working on campus. I know a lot of people don't message me like, okay, well, I need to get a job, Personally, I was concerned about messing up my financial aid because I did have like a substantial amount of scholarships covering my Davidson experiences. So personally, what I wound up having to do was, because I still like, there was like a small gap, but it just required me to have a job so that I could do that and then like get school supplies and such. So like I'd have like a campus job, work study one, and then like on Handshake they'll have other open positions. You just apply for one of those. I usually had a work study job and then like a Handshake job, and just did it like that. And that never really messed with my financial aid, thankfully. So that's the route I took. People do work off campus. It happens. So that's something you could do as well. Another thing I get asked about a lot is like food, volunteering, and like how do you get help when you need it. In terms of food and things like that, Davidson is still in the South, so like the food is hit or miss is what I'm gonna go with. A lot of the food is really good. Like I like the chicken Caesar wraps and the Davis Cafe, which is a cafeteria-ish, cafe style meal plan option in Union. They took breakfast off of meal plan for, I think, the most recent class of freshmen, so like 23 maybe. So that means class of 24, you probably won't have breakfast options, but you can use dining dollars. I used to eat breakfast there all the time. Their breakfast is like immaculate. Egg white croissant with hash browns. But also like I don't really eat at Val Commons like that. I did eat it Commons on like Sundays when they had specific stuff that I like make time to go get, like their roast beef is great, and I love their yogurt bar. I tell you that a million times, yogurt bar. And I love their potato cubes. I love all of that type of stuff. So I be in there for breakfast 9 times out of 10. But sometimes they be having really bomb dinners, and I just like like their themed dinners where they were like it's Mardi Gras, and they had that in there. I go to all of those, or like a Taste of Ghana. I was in there. So stuff like that. The Wildcat Den is in Baker. I don't know why it took me so long to get there, but it's a like cafe style area. It's a concession stand type meal plan option. My favorite thing, my favorite tips from there came from Olivia and Jake, so shout out to them. If you get a sandwich, usually, well, prior to my liners, I was eating a whole lot of like tuna sandwiches because I love tuna. Get an egg on it and get it grilled. I know what you're thinking, you grilling a tuna sandwich, but baby, it was worth it. It was so good. So grilled sandwiches and add egg, they're great. They have, if you're like looking for like prepared salads on campus, that's where you'll find them. One thing about it is Wildcat Den closes sooner, so they close like 2 or something like that. Another thing about the Wildcat Den is that you should check their soup schedule. Like Mondays are a certain thing, Tuesday Thursdays this past school year have been tomato soup days. So I get tomato soup and the grilled cheese. And the thing I love about the Wildcat Den is that you can choose what goes on your grilled cheese. You can't do that in Davis Cafe. Davis's Cafe soup is great too. Their tomato soup, I love both of their tomato soups, honestly, but Wildcat Den had it more consistently, like once a week, so I went there a lot, and I caught it when I got off work. Most times, like some days I'll go to the Davis Cafe when I get off work, and they have tomato soup, and so I get that in the quesadilla, so there's that as well. I can't even believe that I wasn't even going to mention this. Lulabelle's. If for whatever reason you have a meal plan that doesn't like cover you the way you need it to, Lulabelle's, they have discount groceries. 1, 2, you can get a whole lot of like free things. Like Lulabelle will hook you up, whether that's you need a textbook that you can't afford, they'll get it for you for however long you need it. They have books in there that you can rent. If you need some clothes for a business interview, for whatever, they gonna get you right. If you staying over a break and you just like, I ain't got no food, they will get you right. Like they will literally give you the hookup for anything you need. So check them out. For one thing, make sure you check them out, because I'm telling you, they will get you right. There's that. And I already told you about Frolic, so that's the food section. Other thing people ask me about a lot is like volunteer things. So Davidson has service Saturdays that you can sign up for. I volunteered at the Davidson Housing Coalition, which I found through at the beginning of each semester. They have like an organization fair where you can just sign up to like volunteer with whatever. You can go around, read the flyers, sign up, whatever. Last thing, people always are like, oh, well, I don't really know, like, what do I do if I need to ask for help and I'm not getting it or whatever. My personal advice is that you escalate the situation until you get the help you need, because that's literally what the professors are there for. If you're asking them for help and they can't provide it for whatever reason, then it's both y'all's responsibility to make sure you're still getting what you need. So if they're not giving it to you, then you need to find someplace else on campus to get it, whether that's like the tutoring center, like they got resources back there, like the resource learning, whatever, teaching and learning. I don't know. Like one time I was struggling calculus, my professor was like, I've taught you all the ways that I know how, and I just got an extra personal tutor that was outside of the math center in the teaching and learning center. So it was like a person who was like between me and my professor. Like they learned it from my professor and then teach it to me type thing, because my professor was getting frustrated, I was getting frustrated, and it was just a whole mess. But they handled it, so it was fine. But that's what I have for you in this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. And share this with a friend, because as we say in every video, sharing is caring, and we care around here. So share this with a friend who's been like, Davidson, I want to get to know a little bit about that school. And I can tell them a lot about it because I take my time. And if they want to know about it, I can tell them. But yeah, thank you for watching. Remember to stay mindful, and stay home for now so that we can flatten the curve. And I will see you in another video. Peace out, y'all.
Yeah.